So, word on the streets of Puerto Rico is that Latin superstar sensation Ricky Martin is on the run. I'm going to talk about this because even though it does sound somewhat comical, this situation is not so much like that. It's actually really controversial, and it could damage the career and image and legacy of the famed superstar. Let's get into this, shall we? Good afternoon and good evening, wherever you are in this part of this country. It's your girl, Miss Analytical, and I'm coming to you straight out of NYC on this Sunday, which is pre-4th of July, day, 4th of July weekend, or so forth, however you see it. So this morning I was on Lipstick Alley, and I happened to see this article and post that said Ricky Martin has a restraining order against him and he's on the run. So I'm like, Ricky Martin? I was just watching Ricky Martin's biography on YouTube. So I'm like, and I just saw menudo siempre joven. So I'm like, okay, what is really going on with this man? So it was posted in Spanish, which I understood somewhat of it, but not a lot. And the translator said it's not pretty. It involves abuse. So I'm going to talk about this. And so it reads from page 6 of the New York Post. Ricky Martin hit with restraining order in Puerto Rico, denies allegations. San Juan, Puerto Rico. A judge has issued a restraining order against Puerto Rican superstar Ricky Martin, police said Saturday. The order was signed Friday, and authorities visited an upscale neighborhood in the north coastal town of Dorado, where the singer lives, to try to serve the order. Police spokesman Axel Valencia told the Associated Press. Up until now, police haven't been able to find him, Valencia said. Martin, 50, denied the allegations in a statement issued via his reps and obtained by the Post. The allegations against Ricky Martin that led to the protection order are completely false and fabricated, the statement reads. We are very confident that when the true facts come out in this matter, our client, Ricky Martin, will be fully vindicated. It was not immediately known when requested the restraining order, or who requested the restraining order for that matter. Valencia told AP he could not provide further details because the order was filed under Puerto Rico's domestic violence law. El Vocero, a Puerto Rican newspaper, said the order states that Martin and the other party allegedly dated for 7 months. The report quotes the order as saying they broke up 2 months ago. But the petitioner alleges that Martin did not accept the separation and has been seen loitering near the petitioner's house. The petitioner fears for his safety. El Vocero quoted the order as saying, AP has not obtained a copy of the order. Valencia told AP that the order prohibits Martin from contacting or calling the person who filed it, and that a judge will later determine at a hearing whether the order should remain in place or be lifted. He added that usually orders are implemented for at least a month. Valencia noted that the person who filed for the restraining order did not contact police, which would have involved prosecutors determining if there was enough evidence to file charges. Rather, the request went straight to the court. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ricky Martin in the late 90s, early 2000s was one of the biggest superstars in the world. And he came out of the Spanish language music market, and he is Puerto Rican. He was in one of the biggest boy bands in the 1980s called menudo, which in Spanish means small change. And he was there from 1984 to 1989. And he was the biggest act to come out of there besides a guy named Robbie Rosa. And Menudo has had a lot of, I don't want to say stains, but a lot of trauma in terms of the members and what they went through in terms of abuse. And Ricky seems to be one of them that came out unscathed. Now, the reason why I mention this is because the allegations that were included in the Latin newspaper and the Latin press had to do with abuse of a minor. And that the minor supposedly was a nephew. They didn't say whether it was a blood nephew or a nephew through marriage, but it was a relative, it was a child. And that the child was around 16 or 17 years old. And it's really shocking, but I'm going to say something. I'm not surprised at the allegations coming out. And I'm going to explain. A couple of days ago, I was on the New York Post, and this story came up that reads, Ricky Martin slapped with $3 million lawsuit with, in quotations, career-ending allegations. Now, his ex-manager, named Rebecca Drucker, sued him for $3 million. She filed this lawsuit a couple of days ago. And she worked for him from 2014 to 2018. Then she resumed working with him again from 2020 to 2022. And she said that he didn't pay her commission. And that she also filed in the papers, she mentioned a potentially career-ending allegation. Now, if you look at it, you would be like, well, what is it? What could be so, what are you alluding to? And I said, it's either two things. Either you are a person who is abusive to your spouse, or you are a child predator. And that's what this lady is saying. But I moved on. I didn't think anything of it. And so this woman said that when she worked with him on 2 separate occasions due to personal and professional, his personal life being in turmoil, she basically said that she helped to navigate his recording contracts, his touring sponsor deals, and other professional endeavors. And she basically said that he refused to pay her millions of dollars and that he owes her a lot of money under the management. But she slipped that career-ending allegation. And so it's just a weird kind of thing. And so it was basically saying that she also claimed in the suit that the Living La Vida Loca crooner was threatened and intimidated with a potentially career-ending allegation back in September 2020. And she says that Rebecca has also fiercely protected Martin. She alleged in the suit, known that she advised him and brought in top litigation counsel to handle the matter. And that he emerged unscathed and proceeded with his professional resurgence. And pretty much he was coming back, doing TV work, and he was basically set to reach the heights of fame and fortune again, particularly at the age of 49. And pretty much she also mentioned that it was a toxic work environment, and she even talked about an ugly incident in Dubai involving him and his representative, Jose Vega. And she even talked about his substance abuse and that he had problems with the nanny he hired to care for his children, and he doesn't pay taxes. And she had to handle all that stuff going back to 2020 when he rehired her. So she was basically an asset. Now, I'm going to say something. I do believe he does substances. There is a photo of him recently that I'm going to post that you can look at his face and sees that he does drugs. Whether it's cocaine or alcohol, I don't know. But he does something. And I think it's dealing with the pressure of not being at the top, because the Latin market, even though he was one of them that was a pioneer of that big set sensation back in the late 90s, he paved the way for a lot of acts. He's treated as, I don't want to say you could say, kind of a relic of the past. Whereas J-Lo, who doesn't sing as good as him, has gotten all the royal treatment. This man can sing. He's talented. No, he's looked upon as a has-been. Most people can't handle that. Now, this allegation that she's alluding to, I do believe it's about the boy who was a minor, who may be possibly his nephew, that they basically accusing him of pretty much having this relationship with. Because the restraining order, here's the thing. He's married. Are we saying that Ricky had an affair with a grown man? What's really going on? Now, do I believe him? Do I believe that this is true? I'm 50-50. I think that it could be blackmailing. I think it could be Miss Rebecca Drucker, who basically is mad because she got fired, and this is payback. Also, keep in mind the timing of this. This is coming out 2 weeks after the Menudo Siempre Joven documentary on HBO, the 4-part series, is coming out, basically showcasing how Eduardo Diaz was molesting and had molesters around those guys, those young boys. It could be a smear campaign to basically taint the biggest member of Menudo to basically shut the other people up that came forward. Or maybe it could be true. You know, I'm going to end it with this. It has been alleged for years that in the mid-'80s, Jose Menendez, the father of the Menendez brothers, the very father who was gunned down by those boys, worked for RCA Records. And he allegedly was abusing the Menudo band members, some of them, not all. But the one that was his favorite was Ricky Martin. And they did horrible things to him. And that is why when he blew up the way he did, a lot of people, particularly in the black community, didn't like it. But many people in the industry knew that it was a fix. Even though he was talented, it was a big fix. It had to be done. They had to give Ricky Martin the spotlight, the top spot. Otherwise, he would have told what had happened to him. Now, I'm not saying this like I'm saying that. I'm repeating what I've read through the years. They had to give that to him. Now, I want to end it with this also. I hope that is false. I hope that the restraining order, if so, is him having an affair on his husband with another person. Because let's be real, Ricky Martin, in his prime, he was gorgeous. And Ricky Martin still is nice looking. And to be 50, he still is fit. But I don't want this to be true. I really don't. Because I don't want to see anyone be abused at all. You know, it could be the worst person be accused of this. I still want us to be alive and just to be false for the victim, for the alleged victim. I don't want to have no one to go through that pain because it's heart-wrenching. And with that being said, it's your girl, Miss I'm signing off. Thank you for listening. If you haven't, please subscribe and basically share my videos. Hit the notification bell to be updated when I post new content. Also, like and comment and share. And I'll be back later on to give you a review of another show. Thank you. Take care.